episode 72. We're going to talk about some golf as we move through the fun times of setting up the KCLB golf tournament. I've been reaching out to a few friends. They're getting excited, asking us a bunch of questions. And the WM starts today. I'll be watching that leading up to the Super Bowl.
It's going to be like 60 here, so we can act like we're there.
Yeah. Tomorrow's supposed to be even better.
60 today, 60 tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think it's still in like the high 40s, maybe low 50s Saturday. So it's kind of like
might be able to get out there and
partial springtime
if the ground isn't too bad.
Yeah, they sent us out an email at Rolling about just how wet it is. So
yeah, I mean, the last time I played, what did we go to McDonald? I think I went to McDonald and it was super soft and I just chunked everything. And you know how I pick the ball clean? Nope. Every time the ball would land, it's like all the way in, and I can't. I can't.
I haven't been to McDonald in a long time.
Yeah, it was just it was a disaster on that side of it. But whatever. I mean,
that place has more goose poop than it has friggin' nice grass.
I don't doubt that. So today we're gonna have somebody jump on about that. Sheldon, they play golf or they just
So guest today, his name is Jacob Roth. He's an instructor. He actually is getting ready to move to Kansas City. I don't know the exact title of his new thing, but he's in his like trying to be like a pro guy and doing the whole bit. So he'll be able to tell us a little bit more on the details of that. I just know him because he's worked at the golf course and got to know him a little bit. Super cool guy, local dude. So just awesome personality. He's a cool dude. So I'm excited to have him on. Sad to see him go, though, because me and all the guys that play over there, we're like, man, you're like the coolest dude here. Like, he's like just a normal guy, you know. He's not your uppity up type
your typical
person.
golf bro.
Yeah, like he does lessons and, you know, like his teaching. He puts a bunch of stuff on social media and does different things for that. And I don't know the test or the thing that he just did. Like, he just did something that he passed, and so I think that's how he was able to start getting different job opportunities and different things. So yeah.
So, I mean, I'm pretty stoked about the golf tournament stuff. Locked in Willow Bend. We will be doing it on a Friday, and
a couple changes on that. We've had Saturday golf tournament for the longest time, and then they went all corporate on us, so whatever. But everywhere's kind of that way nowadays, so we just got to go with it. But yeah, I'm excited about that. That tournament's always a lot of fun. Appreciate all the people that come out and support us and have fun with us. It'll be on Friday, so mark the calendars. You're going to have to take off a little bit of work to be able to come out, which may, you know,
a 3-day weekend before and then another 3-day weekend because we know you're not going back to work after the golf tournament.
Yeah, it'll mix up it'll probably mix up some of our players, which is fine. I mean, so we may have some guys that have more big boy jobs coming out to play with us that want to take those Friday afternoons off or mornings off, whatever it ends up being. Isn't it? It's going to be a morning start this year, right?
Yeah. Still going to have the putt off. I'm not going to dive too deep into who the food sponsor is because that's still a secret.
Yeah, I'm excited. That'll be a fun thing. We always have really good prizes. I know we already got I got a couple putters. We had 4 putters available last year, so we used 2 last year. We're gonna have 2 this year. So maybe
the best ones, according to our boy Garrett G.
Yeah, we kept them on the down low, so that way we can have some awesome prizes this year, and then
couple guns,
bunch of fun games. We'll have all kinds of cool entertainment stuff out there. Super baseball themed. Just it's a blast. So it's a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys get logged in and wanna come in there with us and have a good day. I'm gonna text old Boyd now and make sure he's got it downloaded.
Should I activate the website so they can see it? I mean, I have it hidden right now. Of course, I've been working on that.
Yeah, because little Kansas Sports HQ drop. Why not?
Yeah. I can log in and just make it go live on our webpage, www.kclbonline.com. slide over, find the More tab, and you'll see the KCLB Golf Tournament. Has some cool pictures, the countdown, a little explanation of what things are, and obviously, if you're ready to go, you can jump in and make it happen.
Get registered up, get locked on, locked in.
Oh yeah. I sent it out to a couple buddies to check it out last night just to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And of course, I needed to add a few things. So put those on there this morning, and we're publishing as we speak, which is great. Oh no. It says we can't publish at the moment.
All that suspense for nothing.
Oh my goodness. What?
That's all right. We'll get it figured out. What up, Jacob? Good morning, sir.
What's going on, guys? How are you guys?
We are great, man. How are you?
Not too bad.
Hey, slide that camera down just a little bit. So there you go. Yeah.
Now your head's there.
Now he's in.
Nice. Awesome, man. Well, hey, thanks for hopping on with us. We were kind of talking about what we might want to talk about on the pod today, and we were like, waste management's starting, so maybe we should talk some golf. And I was like, you know what? I got some breaking news in our golf world here in town that we're about to lose one of the best golf guys around. So we wanted to hop on and talk about you, maybe a little bit about your story, get to know you a little bit more. The podcast, I mean, really, we just do this to kind of talk about, different people in sports around town, in Kansas, but, here locally to us and just with all the different things that we do. So excited to have you on, hear a little bit about your journey and some of the different things that you got going on and happening. So we can kind of just start there. If you want to just introduce yourself, just kind of talk about, where you kind of came up playing golf, what sports you played, if you played other sports, like give us a little bit of a background on just you, and then we'll dive in with some questions with you.
Yeah. So I grew up playing every sport. Mostly, I was a big basketball player. My family's nothing but sports. One of my uncles played in the NFL, so I'm kind of the runt of the litter. Everybody's in my family's usually 6'2" to 6'5", so got
Yeah, but how tall are you?
like 5'10".
Oh,
Yeah, so
I feel that. I'm the shortest male in my family.
yeah, so that's
I'm just short.
So I grew up playing basketball, kind of figured out, hey, 5'10", 5'10" doesn't work in the basketball world, so I started to jump around, and I got into golf when I was a kid doing junior golf and stuff like that. So I always loved the game. I just, golf's not always the most exciting thing when you're a kid. So jumped back into it when I was probably a sophomore in high school, junior in high school, and then from there went to Barton for a year to play golf. Hessen.
Where'd you go to high school? You go to
Mays. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I went to Mays. Yep, and then I finished out at Newman, and then I decided I didn't want anything to do with golf, and so I went and went down the business route and did that, and then I was like, I actually really do love golf, and got back introduced to it with the first tee came to Wichita and jumped into that, and then decided I was gonna just go full blown with it and start working at Rolling Hills. And that's just been great. I mean, you know about Rolling Hills, but it's one of a kind place. It's everybody's so nice there and so welcoming. So that's been great. And now I learned everything I needed to learn, and I'm ready to roll. I took a director of instruction job in Kansas City at Falcon Lakes, and that's going to be really cool to finally get to teach full time and show everything I know there and learn there and start something.
Wait, Falcon Lakes. I think I've looked at those pictures before, because we've played golf up in Kansas City and it seems beautiful.
Yeah. I went up there one time and it was -4 degrees. So I might have been shivering a little too much to get the full glimpse of it, but it truly looks one of a kind place. It doesn't look like it's meant to be in Kansas, I'll say that for sure, with all the native areas and stuff, and they're building a pretty cool community around it. So it's going to be.
Is that a private course? Is it?
No, it's a public course. I think their goal is to kind of be like a resort style.
Okay.
So they're building right now. There's not a ton around it, but they're building a pretty big community around it, and it's going to be It's in Basor, which is just outside of Kansas City, and it's still, I
Yeah.
mean, it's growing like crazy. So
Dude, the pictures that I just Googled are beautiful.
yeah,
And
yeah, it's,
there's like a lake right in the middle of it.
yep.
Keep me away from that.
Yeah, place would be a donation station. Is
For
what I
me
would
at
call that.
least. It's to the left, so I'm definitely finding water, no matter where I am.
That's funny. Well, nice, man. So tell us, like playing golf in college, let's dive into that a little bit. What was that experience like? Tell us, I mean, I've never competitively other than with friends in like tournaments, like, charity things and things like that. That's really the only golf that I ever have played. I've never actually competed against other people in a golf tournament. That's legit anyway. So tell me a little bit about that process. I've actually the only real experience I have with that is I've gone and walked some courses for high school golf, and because I have golfers that I train here at Parisi and people that I've worked with over the years. So talk about that a little bit. Like, what's like kind of that jump look like high school golf into college golf, and, because obviously a JUCO level, and just walk us through kind of, what that experience was like.
Yeah, so I mean, high school golf kind of it'll kind of get you ready just because it still has that same team aspect of it. It's a little bit different. The jump from, professional out of college is a really different. But the jump from into college was made really easy by going the JUCO route. I mean, that's you still have a community around you. If you're still close to, where you grew up, then it's a little bit easier because you're not out in the weeds with nobody and trying to learn how to navigate it. So I think the JUCO route was good for me just because I could still be around people I knew and I didn't have to, make a full commitment to go do something I wasn't really sure about quite yet. So a hard jump was the jump from the JUCO to Division 2 because I mean they take that up a pretty serious notch, especially in tournaments. People in Division 2 are still they still have a good hope to play professional golf. So when you're out there playing, they're nose down, they're not talking to you. This is the real deal. This is serious. But there's still the team aspect of it, but I would say it loses a little bit of it because people out there are, golf is one of those games where you're there by yourself for yourself. So it's um it's a little different. It gets a little bit more intense,
Mm-hmm.
which is good for me because I probably needed that little wake up call that life's not just going to be fun and games and running around. So it was good for me to see that and get that competition and feel that pressure because that's really what it is. No matter if it's the first tee, the 18th tee, the 36th hole of the day, there's that pressure. There's that guy who wants to beat you and you want to beat him, and it's it's not necessarily mano a mano. It's you versus the course because you never know what anybody's doing, but you get that feeling and those those butterflies start to go in that stomach and then you're alive, and that's always that rush of the competitiveness, the adrenaline that runs. It's something I love, and I've played a couple mini tour Monday Qs in the professional realm, and I mean that was just another jump. Those guys are now you're talking about your lifeline, how you make your money, and those they don't care about you, they don't care about what you got going on. It's me versus this golf course, and let's turn it on and let's get going. And that was when it got really cool. And then
So
jumped
Yeah.
so I just have to ask this. Um, Name the top two toughest sports in the world.
top two toughest sports in the world.
Number one should be easy for you.
I man, I do feel like golf is such a mental warfare that it does make it so tough. And then I want to say baseball. I think
Yes, you are
that's another one.
100% correct.
I just there's no chance I'm hitting a ball coming at me 100 miles an hour. It's just
out of all of the sports, the professionals on the PGA Tour is like 0.00001% of all the golfers in the world.
and they're trying everything they can do to shrink it down even more. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's
I
gonna get
mean, you're talking about being elite and having that the butterflies and all that stuff. I mean, Gosh, that would be so fun to just
The pressure
feel.
the pressure is crazy. I mean, I played in the member guest tournament, which is nowhere near any of this. But like I remember vividly. I mean, we just played not too long ago when it was, I guess, towards the end of fall or whatever. But like we got out there on the first tee, we're playing some game I ain't ever even heard of, like and they're trying to explain it to me, and I get up on the tee, and I have no clue what's going on, but I feel like I got 100 people watching me. You know what I mean? These two old dudes that I just met, which they were super cool guys. By the end of the day, we were all buddies, But I'm sitting there and I'm like nervous. I'm like, what the hell? Like, why do I feel like this? I don't understand what's going on. I've played in all kinds of big games on a different field, It's just, and it was just wild. I remember I shanked it like hard left. It went like 50 yards. I was just like, what is going on right now? Like, I have no clue what is happening, but it was legitimately like this pressure feeling that you were just, I don't know. It was weird. It's hard to explain it because there's absolutely nothing on the line out there for anything other than, I guess, my pride. But
Felt like the cameras were on you, huh?
it did. It felt like there's 100 people around me, and everybody was just, it was just so serious. Like everything was serious on that first tee. And then, we got 6, 7 holes in. Everybody kind of relaxed a little bit, and we were just golfing, and it was fun. But yeah, I remember that, and that's not even like a big thing. So I mean, just imagining how intense. We talk about college sports all the time, and obviously I coach a lot of athletes, so the mental side of the game in all different facets is a very important piece of that. And golf is one of those things where it's like, man, like you said, it's you versus the course, which I think is a very intelligent way of going about trying to explain it to someone. But it's also, no matter which way you want to look at it, you're going to feel that pressure, like you're going to feel every other golfer out there, although they might be respectful towards you, they don't give two shits. They want you to fall in the water, like they're every little bit of their inner competitor is sitting there saying like, do what's right for the game, but they also don't want you to necessarily beat them, like it's just that inner competition thing. Do you have any specific stories like when you were playing college golf? Like, do you remember anything where it was like, a high pressure shot, or maybe something where it was like you were watching a guy and he did this or you did that? Like, you know what I mean? Like something that sticks out in your brain from your college experience?
It didn't necessarily happen to me, but I'll always remember, we're in the college is a little different. You don't really have final groups. It's more of a shotgun style, but we had live scoring, and so um, the three of us were all in the top three, and the guy who's in first place is standing on the tee box, and he just hits it way right into the trees, and the guy who's in second place, it just like lets out this yes. And I'm like, oh man, I'm like, this. I've never seen anything like that. Like you might say it in your head or be like, okay,
Oh yeah.
this is my chance, but just
He's like
letting one go, like
the
fist pumping,
silent.
like, yeah, so this is I'm gonna beat you now, and it's like, oh man, it's just that was a one of a kind moment, and that I mean, him doing that destroyed the guy with the lead. He was like, I can't, I can't
Oh,
believe he
I
just
can
did.
only
The,
imagine.
the
Yeah, he
mental
was
just
like,
went.
yeah, he was like, man, he just said out loud that I'm beat and he's gonna beat me, and that's it. And so I will
So
never.
I want to talk about the mental game of that. Like you said, going from high school to JUCO to D2 to playing on your lifeline side of thing. How do you prepare yourself for that, man? Like what? How'd you have to grow mentally to compete like that? Because, dude, I just have it's super exciting to hear about it, and we're just over here like, yeah, man, I feel that just swinging the clubs with my boys.
So I think you have to learn how you personally deal with pressure, right? And I think that goes for any sport. If you're standing up there, just you and a baseball bat going against that pitcher, you're going to feel pressure. If you're standing on the first tee and everybody you feel like everybody's watching you, but it's just your grandpa and your grandma, and you get nervous. How do you deal with that, and what do you go through? I think that was the biggest thing is learning how I dealt with pressure and putting myself in enough situations to where I could feel it, and then understand what I need to do with it. Okay, pressure is a good thing, right? That means I'm doing something right and doing something well, and so I need to learn how to take that, understand it, put it to the side, and then do what I need to do. So golf's one of those sports where I have complete control over what I do in the moment and what I do over the shot, and that was the biggest learning lesson. And I learned that one in high school because my golf coach in high school was really good at Mays, and we had a couple guys go to KU and stuff like that. So it was important for them to learn, that next step. That Division 1 step is way different, right? Those guys are, they're top of their food chain, and now all those 8 guys are coming together, and that's a lot of egos coming together. So
Hmm.
I would say you have to learn how to do it. And you have to put yourself in enough situations, and I think a lot of times people will say like fake it till you make it, but once you get to that highest peak, if you're trying to play a professional sport, you cannot. I don't think you can fake it. You have to learn how to deal with it and be in it and understand. When I'm here, when I'm doing this, when I'm feeling this way, this is what I produce. And so just rolling with that. I
Yeah,
think that
you're
was
faking it. You're faking it at that point. You're getting chewed up and spit
yep,
out, and
yep.
you're gonna have a real long set of days.
That is
Yeah.
not water in your water bottle at
Right.
that point.
Yeah, that's gonna be a long one. Um. So on that, so for you, like, is there? Walk me through, I guess, just so I'm learning a little bit here. So you get done with college and you're finishing. So do you go and you're playing what you called the Monday, whatever that was? Like, are you trying to earn a pro card at that point in time? Have you earned something in that realm? Like, what walk us through like your post college career thus far? Like, how is that progressing? What all does that entail?
Don't answer the Monday circuit, then we'll never see him again. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So golf is one of those games. It's expensive. So I
Yeah.
I didn't I didn't have I didn't have any money. I didn't have any anybody who's willing to give up any money. So I had to go. I went and worked a desk job and built up some money, and then went and did 2 or 3 of them. Um, and so that was
And what are those? What'd you do?
so a Monday qualifier is like, so when we have the Corn Ferry event come into town, they'll host 2 Monday qualifiers, and it just gives a guy like me a chance to get into the field for that week. Now
Okay.
you're probably, nobody's, I won't say nobody. It's a long shot to get a card on the Corn Ferry Tour going to a Monday qualifier, right?
Yeah.
Because let's say you make it through the Monday, which you got to shoot a 64, 63 to make it through that Monday.
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Okay,
Yeah.
Easy. No big deal.
and
On the
then you,
front 9.
yeah, and then you go to Crestview or wherever it is for that week, and you got to put up good enough numbers to get in the top 10 to then get invited to the next tournament. So most guys, they're looking for, you get through the Monday, maybe you make a good finish and you catch somebody's eye and like, hey, I need to get with this guy and see if we can't get him on our get him, invest in him and see what he can't do, and that's how most of the guys do it. They just build up enough sponsors to where, they can take on the financial risk because they got some guys backing them. But
So what's
um,
that look like from a dollars and cents standpoint? Like I'm sure it varies,
Rough
obviously.
ballpark.
Yeah, but like if I'm rolling off the couch tomorrow and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go try to be a pro golfer now. And what do I got to do that? Because there's probably some guys out at Rolling Hills that think that they can do it. So let's give a roadmap to them.
so if you were getting, let's say you're gonna try to get lucky and you're gonna go to the one in Wichita, Kansas, where you don't have any travel expenses, you don't have any hotels expenses, anything like that. Just the fee to get in the tournament is $500.
Okay.
So you're paying $500 for the off chance that you have a once in a lifetime round, right? It's I don't care who you are, at what level you are, going out and shooting 63, 64, 62. You had yourself a day.
Yeah. Hell
You
yeah.
had
Oh
some
yeah.
you had some things
Might be
go
the day I
right.
retire from
I
golf.
probably wouldn't even show up to my tournament
Yeah.
spot.
And then you go, oh man, I just had the day of my life and I shot 63 and I got in, and you turn around and you go, okay, well, I got to go shoot 4 rounds in this, 68, 67 at whatever course just to give myself a chance to make the cut, just to, and then from there, a Corn Ferry event of the payout for, 40th place, which would be pretty good if you just Monday qualified into the event,
Oh
is
hell yeah.
maybe $800.
Right. Right.
So it's like, ugh, is it worth that? Is it worth? And then you go, okay, I want to do this thing and I want to travel and I want to try to make it on the tour. Okay. Well, now I'm signing myself up for $120 a night in a hotel. I'm signing myself up $500 a week for a Monday event, and that's one round, right? So it's like, you hear a lot of people talking about, these tee times are getting crazy. Well, Those guys paid $500 for a tee time.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. And then if you want to go a different route and play mini tours where you have guaranteed starts, you're looking at, $1,500 for 4 rounds. And
Jeez.
to make your money back, you got to take third out of 144 people.
Wow.
So
It's just wild to me that I mean, obviously there's tons of golfers, so that it's not wild in the same right, but it's also crazy to think that there's that many competitive guys that are willing to pay the money, and to be able to do that on a consistent basis, because I would guess after a couple of weeks, guys would be like, yeah, no, this ain't gonna work. Like,
they don't.
you got to have some expendable income to make that happen. Even if you were just talking regionally, right, from
Yep.
here to Texas,
Yep.
like a 5-hour window in all directions, that's still expensive. Like, even if you're driving everywhere, I mean, you're gonna rack up some bills pretty quick unless you got a lot of friends that you're staying for free with. But even then, it's still, I mean,
still
paying
expensive,
the
yeah.
golf is
We're
expensive.
not we're not even talking about equipment. We're not
Yep.
talking about coaches. We're those kind of things. I mean, I can only imagine it just adds up quickly.
Yeah, I mean the people who can do it and have a good chance of actually making to the tour get with somebody early that
Mhm.
we believe in you, we think you can do this, we want to see it through. Because getting on the PGA Tour, I mean, you look at this guy like Scotty Scheffler. It's not like he came out of college and was like, "I'm the best golfer," right? He struggled through it just like most people
Yeah.
did. So, but he just had the backing of somebody's like, "I
Mhm.
believe in you." So probably some donor from Texas,
Yeah.
and
Well,
he got the
didn't he?
opportunity.
I did see a post after he won the American Express. He's he's $100 million in winning.
That's
And
not bad,
winnings.
right?
So I mean, not bad at all, right? But how much do you think actually goes back to his training staff? All of that stuff. You think it's 40%, 50% more? I mean,
I would say it's probably on that 45%,
oh
after,
wow, so okay,
after Ted Scott gets paid, after his swing coach gets paid, after, because he's not flying on that Delta flight, He
Uh-huh.
he's got his
he's got
own.
that flight share.
Yeah, yeah. So, those things start to add up, but I'm guessing he's not feeling it too much with a 100 million. He's
Yeah.
not
Well,
worried about it.
his silent endorsements, you never see too many commercials with him on it,
Yep.
but because he doesn't like that fame, but at the end of the day, he does have those endorsements for sure.
There's probably a reason why lots of those guys have net jets on their arm, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Exactly. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, the just that kind of the track, like I guess that's not something that's super common, and it's definitely kind of an outlier in sports in my brain to where it's just a little bit different. I mean, obviously the path to college makes a lot of sense, I think, but
Yep. Yep, it's
that
pretty
path
sweet.
after college, it's like a whole different thing where I mean, the Corn Ferry, and they have other ones. I mean, there's other names of different, like what we would talk about as like a minor leagues for the baseball,
Yep.
like
Tour
it's,
de Americas
yeah,
is now going
there's,
to be in Wichita instead of the Corn Ferry Tour.
yeah, it's a different level of the
It's
whatever.
lower. It's the
Yeah.
minor leagues of the Corn Ferry.
The PGA Tour Americas that they swapped over to. Yep. So
Yeah.
we actually at Rolling Hills they hold a equal level tour event for the women, which
Mhm.
has been super cool.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
been awesome.
there's
I
there's a
went out
lot
there
of
this last year. It was really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's cool to see. We don't really talk about Wichita, Kansas as a hot spot for sports, right, or for anything, but to see two, you know, events that these guys are fighting to get a PGA Tour card, and they might be somebody someday. It's awesome. It's awesome to see it come here, and it's awesome to see them grow and get better every year.
Yeah. No, it that I went out to that and like the setup and all that stuff and just seeing a lot of the members that were out there as well too, like supporting the girls and like
Yeah,
just just making them feel at home and just kind of getting to know them and stuff. I thought that was awesome. Just building those relationships with them and
yep,
supporting them because they're all away from family and a lot of them stayed with members,
yep,
which I think it's like a little mini host family, like what we do for baseball. But it was cool to kind of see that community kind of rally behind them. Like you said, Rolling is a pretty cool spot. It's a fun place, a lot of cool families out there, and that was just another reason, another showcase of that, I
yep.
think. But Another question that I had. So like we got the track part of that kind of figured out. What you would say like maybe for a common listener that doesn't know a ton about golf, right? What would be some maybe some tips or some not like on like golf the game, but like some of the unwritten rules. Like do you have anything that you remember that you were learning, as you made that jump from high school to college and then college, to trying a few different professional events? Like what were some of the unwritten rules that maybe if I'm a golfer, I'm going to go out there and play with some buddies. Obviously, it won't be the same intensity or whatever, but what are some of the things that you learned along the way that you might be able to share with some people?
There's a couple. I mean, there's a couple good ones that I never knew would be a problem growing up, but there's a lot of people that they like to yell on the golf course, and that's one that get a little dicey. And I've seen that a lot at Rolling Hills, where you sink that 40 footer, and if you were to you hit that half court shot in basketball, you hit that home run in baseball, you're going nuts, and that's something that you're not supposed to do it. But I mean, sometimes I love to see it. I won't lie, it gets
Yeah.
me a little hyped up. But it's like you'll see them throw the putter up in the air, and you're like, oh man, where's that going to come down?
Uh-huh.
And they start yelling, and then people across the way are looking at you like, what are you doing? Like,
This is supposed to be peaceful.
yeah, but I've seen a lot of those, a lot of the putter throws, a lot of the yells, and then you're looking at the green like, how do I fix this? How,
Mhm.
how do I get this playable again? So I would say so. Some of the I'll go down a rabbit hole and see the videos that people like hitting full shots on the green. It just tears me up. It tears
Oh,
me up.
that's
Like, somebody's got to fix that. That's gonna
yeah.
be. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be good.
You're like watching it.
Did you ever have any like, times where you were playing and maybe you forgot something or maybe you did something that everybody was like, "What the hell are you doing? Like why are you doing that?" Like do you ever have any of those moments?
Funny one is I teed off. So in college, you're playing 36 holes on the first day, and
Okay.
so sometimes you're teeing off at 6:45 in the morning. And one time I didn't change my shoes. I had slides on the first tee box, and that was pretty funny. I looked at the golf coach and I was like, "Hey man, can you run back to the van?" Like, and he's looking at my feet like, "Sure." Well, I mean, what else were we gonna do here? But
That's pretty good.
that's another one I'll never forget that one. Just looking down, everybody's looking at me like, "Dude, like, is this what you really do? Like, do you actually
Like, dang,
play?"
dude, this dude must be a freaking god out here. He's playing in slides.
It's either this guy's really good or this guy sucks, and he's just
Yeah,
waiting to get this over with.
I mean, if you had Crocs in 4x4 mode, I still would put you on a competitive level.
It was that was pretty
sport
funny, and
mode.
nobody said anything to me when I was like, warming up putting or hitting shots. Everybody
Yeah,
was just like,
exactly. Well,
he'll put
they
them
don't
on. Like,
care. They're
he
like,
knows what he's doing.
Maybe they knew you were just in the zone. I mean, that could just be the situation. You were in the zone and totally didn't realize that you had slides on.
Yeah. I must have been in some zone or I hadn't woken up yet, but I had no idea until I got out there and looked down and was like, oh, I'm in trouble.
yeah. Tell us a little bit about your, because I know you do instruction. Obviously, that's the job that you're taking up in Kansas City, which I think is awesome. Sad to see you go. I was telling Dave as we started this, I was like, you're like for all us normal people that are out there running around, you're like the coolest guy in the shop. So everybody likes to talk to you and hang out with you. But tell us a little bit about your instruction, some of the stuff that you've done, here in town, and then kind of what that journey's kind of looked like. So I know you had to pass some certification stuff and do some different things there. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I kind of always known that, once I got started in golf, there's not a lot of instruction jobs in Wichita just because, we don't have that many courses. If you look if you look wide view, a lot of places have 20, 30 courses block to block, especially the farther south you go. And Wichita doesn't have that. It's probably never going to be a golf mecca. People don't come here to go to golf courses. Now we have your Prairie Dunes and your Flint Hills and stuff like that, but those are national courses for a reason. People are flying in to play those ones.
Mhm.
So I always knew that I was going to try to get into a instruction role. I just didn't know how I was going to do it in this area. And so I got drawn onto Rolling Hills because Dave kind of went through the same route that I went. He was an assistant, then he went to a director of instruction, and he had that playing background and had met some cool people. So I was drawn to Rolling Hills just because of him and his background and what I could learn. And man, did I took every opportunity I could to learn from him. So I he was one of a kind. He was really really good for what I'm trying to do and where I was trying to go. So like I told him, I can't thank him enough. But I would say um, going to Kansas City is going to be really cool just because that is turning into a little golf mecca. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like warm weather or anything like that, but it is turning into a golf mecca. They have Corn Ferry events up there. They have multiple Monday qualifiers. They have so many golf courses. Um, but getting into your question of instruction stuff, I would say, you know, golf's a sport, and always look at golf as a sport. I think so many people will go down the route of, I got, go golf is not a regular sport. I got to try to do this and that and this, and it's like, it's just another sport. And if you break down how the greatest guys of all time did it, they treated it just like a sport. And that will always be my big teaching thing. I won't get too deep into the weeds of it, but it's treat it as a sport. Don't treat it as a different entity or a different thing. It's basic body movements that we make really, really difficult.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Yeah, I need
Yeah.
more of that because I make it really difficult all the time.
So I know you're going to be moving to Kansas City, but have you seen the talk about what what they're trying to bring to Hutchison with that golf and hunting resort?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
That's I've talked to quite a few people about it, and there's in Kansas City. So the guy who's going to do it is one of the guys who are going to do it is actually the owner of Great Life, which is
Oh,
a
okay. Yeah.
huge golf company. And everything that I've heard is it's just going to be a playground, right? These these guys are putting together not it's a good chunk of change, and they're going to put together a playground for themselves. I don't necessarily think it's going to it's going to be really really cool. You're going to have 45 holes with a 9-hole executive course, and it'll be cool to see how many people take the opportunity to go check it out. But I have a feeling it's not going to be priced for the average guy. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how it actually turns out. But I think it's going to be kind of like a Prairie Dunes 2 type of deal, and just try to create an environment that top class wants to come to and check out and be a part of.
And that's gonna be in Hutch.
Yeah, so it's at
Just outside of Hutch, yeah.
the property that they're looking at already has an overgrown 36 hole golf course.
Yeah.
It has like a north and a south, right?
Yeah, Cottonwood Hills. Cottonwood Hills was designed to build a community around it, and then they couldn't get certain water rights and things like that, so it made it impossible. And then it went downhill because we all know this. If we're gonna play golf, especially people in Wichita, the last thing we probably want to do is drive 45 minutes one way to play a golf course, right?
Yeah.
We don't at a certain level the what the golf course looks like doesn't matter
Right.
to us, right? We're we might go try to go play a cool golf course every now and then, but if I told you there's water on every hole and there's tall grass on every hole, you're like, I don't know. I don't want
For
to know
that
if
much money, yeah, you
I
start
don't
to.
know if I want to go pay $400 to
One-time
also
experience, sure.
yeah.
Like like want to go do something fun, want to go check it out. Like I get that, but I totally agree. Like I don't think on a
If I can go up there and
consistent
shoot a deer
basis.
and play 18, cool.
Yeah, once a year maybe.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
fine. I got. Hey, man, we have beef sticks for the
Yeah.
office. You know.
Yeah, that's just it's a weird spot. I don't know. I mean, I get now it makes a lot more sense why they're picking that spot, but to me it's just like I feel like it's not in the middle of nowhere. Obviously Hutch is a thing, like there's plenty of people out there, that type of thing. But for something that big and that quote unquote prestigious, like you already got a golf course there that's super prestigious, and if they don't do they co-own that? Like are they're partners in that at all? So it's gonna be
They might
competition in that aspect.
they might try to do, kind of like how we do with Teradyne, our
Yeah, like a
our
joint deal. Yeah.
yeah. But I don't think so. I think they're gonna see each other as a competition
Huh.
and try to. But Prairie Dunes isn't doing too bad for themselves, so it's
Yeah, no,
right.
they're doing okay.
It's it's attainable and it's doable. They just have to get enough brand recognition and show what they got and see who comes and who likes it.
Yeah. old heads with a lot of money.
Yeah, so real quick,
So,
Jacob, we have a listener who said, "Where are you doing your instructions at in KC?" Maybe share a little insight on that and when you're going to be up there. Maybe we found you a customer
ooh,
or a client. I think that would be a client, right?
I knew this was going to be worth it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, it's going to be at Falcon Lakes Golf Club. It's in Bay Swords, just I think it's about 15 minutes outside west of KC. It's a public golf course, so everybody's more than welcome to get out there. I'm not going to be out there till probably late March. I got some stuff I have to tie up here and then move up there and and get that figured out. So it'll probably be a month and a half before I'm actually up there in full force. But I'll have all my programs and everything set up before I actually hit the ground running. So they'll have everything out there and be telling people about it. But yeah, it'll probably be 5 or 6 weeks before I'm actually feet on the ground rolling.
There you go, Matt. There's your answer. Hopefully that is good enough for you, and you can link up with Jacob when he's up there.
Yeah, look forward to
Yeah,
it.
dude. That's going to be awesome, man. I'm excited for you. I think that's going to be a fun transition, too.
Yeah.
Just because, obviously, bigger city, there's a bunch of moving parts and a lot of different. My brother lives up in Kansas City, so we go up there not all the time, but relatively throughout the
Yeah.
year and just kind of bounce around up there. So there's a lot to do, a lot of fun things. When you're out there, so like with the instructional role, right? So walk us through that a little bit. Like what's your day to day going to kind of look like? Like, are you going up there and just lesson after lesson after lesson? Like that's the plan, or do you help kind of like what you're doing now? Like you're in the pro shop doing a little bit of legwork there. Like what's the the golf instructors of the world? Like what's that job really entail? So that way people kind of get a little a peek inside of the day to day life.
So I'd say everybody has a different completed role in the golf instruction world, right? You're gonna have some world class teachers who are never gonna, they're not even touching the inside of a pro shop just because they know what makes them money and what they need to do. So, but my role is gonna look more of a combined. So in the summer, in the warmer months, I'll spend my time on the range, and then as we get into those cooler months where there's not too many people out there, and not too many people taking lessons and stuff like that, then I'll jump in and help them out in the pro shop. So it's a little bit of best of both worlds, right? Get to be inside and see that world, and but then also when golf's hot and running, I get to be out on the course and out on the range, teaching people in that way. So as of right now, it's both. But
Gotcha.
lots of people lots of people have different roles in it, and I don't know if I got to build a community there like I did at Rolling Hills to where I could spend most of my days on the range giving lessons and doing that stuff. So
Do you foresee yourself like doing any? I don't even know if it'd be
Monday
possible,
tournaments?
but like, are you able to, work with like a high school team or college team? Like, do you have, is that like a thing that's even, I don't know the rules, I guess, but
yeah,
is that something where, you might be able to coach, like literally be a golf coach for one of those organizations, possibly?
yeah. So those are tough. To be a real like coach, like go to the tournaments with them and go to practices with them and stuff like that, just because
Mm-hmm.
you're committing to 3 hours after the day, and then lots of time in my world, golf instruction happens from 2:30 to 7:30, right? Because everybody goes to work, and then after they get off work, so that was something I really did want to do, especially at Rolling Hills and stuff like that. I would have loved to be a golf coach, but it's tricky just because that's the right now in the realm of the working class working with those guys, that's when they want to do their
The
instruction.
time, yeah.
That's when they want to do their programs. So that would be tough. And then the travel of that also gets tough if you get to the college level because
Mm-hmm.
there's not too many places that you're going to be like, hey, I'm taking 4 days off this week because I got to drive down to Oklahoma and then play 2 tournaments and then drive back. You're gonna be like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, those are busy times. It seems
Yep.
like every day is a busy time at the golf course, kind of
Yeah. Yep.
how it works anyway. Well, that's
But I
awesome,
would
dude.
I would love to. I think my goals have changed to work with a high school or a college that comes out to Falcon Lakes, or I go somewhere and then, after school I can turn that into a program and help them. I think that's where my mindset has changed, and I think that'll be something that I definitely see happening in the next year, which will be really cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be, like if you
That'd be
found a
pretty
high
cool.
school close to you to where it's like, hey, they're already coming out here to practice on a day-to-day basis, and you're like their swing coach on the range until they go out there and play, and then they got another guy that, is able to bounce around with them out there on the course, but then you get to, you know, build those relationships with them and,
Yep.
kind of dial into each of their, playing skills and help them when they're in that setting maybe. I think that'd be kind of a cool. I don't know if that's
Yeah. Yeah. So
abnormal, normal. I have no idea. I've never been on a golf team, so I don't know how that works, but
I won't say it's definitely not on the normal in Wichita. I
yeah.
won't say it's abnormal though in general. I think the best advice that I can give, or that any teacher can give that's played college golf or tried to play professional golf, is how it differs, right? What to expect when you actually go there. Because I personally didn't have anybody to kind of explain that to me, and so that was the toughest part, is learning. Oh man, I went from a high school team where these were my friends, and we loved going out into practice and we loved doing that, and now it's you go to practice by yourself because you might be the
Everybody
second man
wants your
on.
spot.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
might be the second man on the team, but that guy in fifth, he wants it. He wants to. He doesn't necessarily want to see you fail, but he definitely wants to do better than you. He's not gonna help you out. So I think understanding that mindset goes a long ways in college and professional sports.
I can't believe you let
Uh,
me go on the member guest without talking to me. That's just absolutely. You
I
didn't coach me up that day
I
at all.
do have a question that's kind of related to the baseball world and how people continue to implement the metrics into their programs. Like baseball has, the trackmans that you can throw a baseball, see the rotation and stuff like that. How impactful is that in golf? I mean, I didn't grow up with that being an accessible thing. They were always like 20 grand, and now you
Yeah.
have people rolling around with pocket sized ones.
You know?
Does that, as in from a swing coach perspective, does that play into some of the stuff that you would bring into the game, or is it really, focusing on being consistent and hitting the ball where it needs to be hit?
So adding that, so if you're at a very low level of golf, I will say it's probably not going to do much for you. You're more learning,
What's low level?
so like a beginner. So so if you were just, you're like, I just picked up a golf club. If I set a TrackMan behind you, you're gonna be like, great, but I topped it, right? Like, what? I don't,
Duff.
I don't, I don't care. I shanked it into the woods. I don't care that my club head speed was this or that, or my ball speed, whatever. So I think an average golfer can do it because, okay, now we're looking more at where the face is at, right? So that's where TrackMan helps a lot, because if I'm taking a video and I'm trying to slow it down and show you where it is, that's tough, right? And it's going to be tough to explain it in those words. But if I go, hey, your face was 10 degrees open and it should have been 1 degree closed. Okay, well now you can understand that, right? You can understand that I'm 11 degrees from where I want to be. Now how do I get there? And that's where we can jump in
Go
and tell
ahead
you.
and tap on that a little bit because I think I do that every time. How do
do
I
I
fix
man,
that 10
how do I get a
degrees? How do I
quick,
what's the quickest way I can square that face up?
can I get
I
a
would
quick
say if you
lesson
want to
on
square
the
the face
podcast?
up, you should probably work on squaring the face up. I think that
Oh,
would go a
okay,
long
yeah.
way.
Well, okay, never mind. I can coach golf.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how I teach myself every day. Do it right, Sheldon, you idiot.
Golf is
Self-talk is a big thing in golf.
yeah. Yep. I went down to level 3, so that's the last level for PGA education school and stuff like that. And I went down to that 2 weeks ago now, and that was the number one thing that we talked about for high level golfers. So high level golfers will sit there and work swing, work swing, work swing, but then they get out to the golf course and one thing goes bad, and now it's toast, right? And they can perform at the highest level and do everything they need to do, but now in their head they're like, I suck, I suck, I slice it, I hook it, I do this, I do. And it's like, just be in the moment, right? You hit a bad shot, go be in the moment and recover from it, and then go do your thing.
Flush it
It's
next.
yeah,
Yeah.
golf's
Yeah.
most important shot's the next
I
one,
need
right?
to
I don't know how
fix
to-
I need
I-
to fix my self-talk. That's a big piece. About the only time that I'm yelling on the golf course is when I'm yelling at myself. You effing P word. What the F is wrong with you?
Oh,
Those
man.
kind of things. That's my self-talk. So
I'm
bad at
I'm a
that.
firm believer in getting that stuff out.
Oh,
But
I
then
have to. If
yeah.
I don't,
Oh
I'll
yeah.
have it. I will take it to the next shot. Like and I'll just sit there and beat myself up. Or it's competitive juices, I guess. At the end of the day, I've done nothing
Yeah.
but compete my whole life. So it's just what I know. But it's also detrimental at points and times too.
My
I mean,
favorite experience is that monster drive and then duffing the 70-yard chip shot and then bogeying the hole.
On and two bogeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, those happen quite often. Those are
the
fun.
the highest and the lows, right? All in a matter of 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Since you're leaving Rolling Hills, I'm going to tell you about this. When do you leave?
My last day is the 17th. I think
Yeah, it's close enough.
I better
So
see you
we're
guys at the little going away party.
yeah, I'm going to try to make it over to that. When is that?
I don't know. He asked me to come up with a day, but I'm I uh I might have dropped the ball there.
Oh yeah, I think David sent
You're
something out
leaving on
about
a
it.
Tuesday?
It's a good day to go. They're
Yeah.
closed on Monday.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
They'll probably do it on that though. I don't know. Maybe.
Bar
I don't
won't
know
be
when it
open
is.
on the Monday.
But anyway, so I take Banks out there with me all the time. Obviously, you've seen him out there with me and riding around and stuff. And we were on hole 2, and this just happened not too long ago. But we're walking up to the green. Banks is in the golf cart, like he's sitting over, and the bridge is over there on the left. And I pull up. I was the first cart. I was already on the green. I was waiting on guys to get on, and I grab my putter, and I'm getting ready to walk up to the. Yeah, I'm probably on the green at this point in time, and all of a sudden I just hear crash, and I'm like. I turn around and Banks, yeah, I have a sweet tea in the golf cart all the time. So I drink sweet tea every day. And I guess this dude decided that he was going to go and try to drink my sweet tea, hits the gas pedal, and the golf cart takes thankfully, I had it turned to go over the bridge,
Yeah.
so the golf cart wheels were turned and he didn't have his hands on the wheel. And he hits the gas pedal and this thing just takes a direct left and then, like, basically just kind of pigeoned into the ditch and where the bridge is at.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 6 feet from going in the water. Like,
Yep.
I look back there and I see him kind of rolling out of the golf cart, like standing up. I'm okay. I'm okay. Because that's like his MO. He just gets up and starts saying that. He's freaked out. He starts, bawling or whatever. But yeah, so we had to lift the golf cart back up onto the pad. Nothing was damaged, which was nice. But he was literally about 6 feet from going swimming. I was like, dude, you cannot touch the gas pedal. Like, he's I didn't touch it. I'm like, then how did it move? He said, I was just getting a drink. And I'm like, dude, you can't touch this thing. It's gonna move. And he's just like sitting there freaking out. I was just like, oh my gosh.
That's
So yeah.
that's
that
so
just
funny.
happened.
I didn't touch it. No.
No, yeah, he swore up and I didn't touch that. I'm like, Banks, you don't have mind control, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't just decide to move the golf cart. Like, no, you definitely touched it. Yeah.
His awareness was not there.
And he rakes. All he does is rake the bunkers. Like, every green we go up to, he just grabs a rake and starts raking bunkers for fun. I'm like, man, maybe you're a maintenance guy later in life. Just start working at a golf course early. But yeah, that was my funny story about Banks here recently. So
Man,
a little scary, but
If the first week I worked at Rolling Hills, we had an outside tournament, and somebody rolled a golf cart off of that bridge,
oh shoot.
and they had to get like an ambulance and everything, and had to lift the golf cart off of the guy, and he was down there. Everybody ended up being okay, but
He was in the water?
yeah, oh yeah. Both of the guys in the golf cart were down in there, but it's crazy to know how many people actually, like 15 to people always, somebody will ramp something doing something, and
That is wild.
yeah,
That's
crazy.
I mean, that's a drop too. Like,
Yeah.
that's easily a 15-foot. Like,
Yeah.
you're going down into some water. Like, it's
Yeah.
not a short little bit. Like, you go down there, that ain't gonna feel good.
It's always crazy that they, like, people just pop up and walk out of it. I'm like, you're so lucky, man. Like, you just took a 15-foot drop onto rocks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild. Crazy.
So at least
Any
you
other
didn't-
crazy stories out there that we want to air out before you go?
crazy stories I want to air out?
Yeah, why not?
Just that. I mean, the only craziness out there really is people flipping over bridges. There's not really.
That's pretty crazy. That's
Yeah, I mean,
actually
that's
top notch.
Yeah.
The girls' tournament. I remember you were telling me about the girls' tournament that one time. They got a little wild out there. What was that
Oh,
tournament?
that,
Yeah,
that,
whatever that
that
was.
you're bringing back war flashbacks. There's a yeah, there's a ladies group that comes out, women in business, and there was a time that
The Weeba
that
group?
whoa, I didn't say Weeba group, I said women in business. But I don't want to name any names.
Yeah, women in business, Dave. Come on.
But they come around number 9, which comes right by the clubhouse, and two of the girls are on top of the cart with like a speaker, and they're having a good time. You can't blame
It's
them.
called Wine and Nine for a reason.
I
I
don't
know
know if
what
it
you're
was
talking
wine.
about.
I don't know if it was wine, but they were having a good time, and we love to see it. But a little, the tumble off of there is not any better than going off the bridge. That's gonna hurt. They're gonna feel that one.
That's funny. I love it. Well, man, we appreciate you hopping on with us and chatting. I wish you the best. Hopefully, everything is a smooth transition for you. Obviously, hopefully, you can get out there and impact some young golfers, some old golfers, probably some people that just need to give it up and everything in between. But we appreciate you, man. It was fun getting to know you while you were over there as well. Like I said, you were very likable, and everybody that I play with out there, we unequivocally think you're the coolest one out there that works there. So that's you can take that with you up to KC. But appreciate you hopping on. Appreciate you getting on here. We always kind of finish it out. If you would like to, if you got any shout outs or any people that you'd like to mention or anything like that, if you want to do that, you can do that now.
I don't know if I have anybody to shout out. Shout out myself for going to getting a director of instruction job.
There you
And
go. Hell yeah, brother.
Taking a
every,
risk and making it happen, man. That's worthy of a praise.
hope everybody who's in Kansas City comes out and sees me, and anybody from Rolling Hills that's stopping through KC comes out and sees me, and we can have a good time and share a few laughs on the range or on the course.
Love it, man. Awesome, dude. Well, thanks for hopping on with us, and I will for sure just check in with you anytime I'm up in KC. Maybe I'll try to pop out there and play and kind of go from there. But appreciate you hopping on, and we will talk to you soon.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys again.
Yeah. See you, buddy.
See ya.
Dude, that was awesome. I didn't realize. Well, you never think about golf being like that high level of stuff
dude, those
like
guys,
that. But
they're crazy, man.
The competitiveness in it. I mean, you watch like the Michael Jordan thing, or like we're talking the other day, the Netflix series, just how much goes into it and stuff like that, and that's pretty cool to hear, especially hearing him talk about the college level, high school preparing you into JUCO and then going to D2, and then how high that level really gets. So.
Well, and the thing he talks about, like, and it's something that you overlook, especially if you're a team sport guy, like the internal competition in college in general is always there, right? And that's a part that nobody really prepares you for. Is you got to learn to balance being a good teammate but also a competitive one, because at the end of the day, whether it's baseball, football, whatever, right, like there's only a certain amount of people that start and a certain amount of people that play every day. And so like that internal competition is something that's it's a confliction, because it's like, man, I want to love this guy beside me because he's my teammate, but I don't want to love him enough to where I'm going soft on him, like,
right,
and there's that iron sharpens iron.
There's no shake and bake
mentality.
involved.
Yeah, like it's just it's an internal comp that you have to be able to balance, but then you also have to be able to perform at the right times and be able to stay consistent and be more consistent. But then you also want to bring up the next guy behind you and, make sure that they're ready to go and like you're doing something that's good for your team, from a long-term perspective. So, I mean, it's just golf's a little bit different there. I would say, like bowling, that's another sport that's kind of in the same realm of, like you're competing at all times. Like you are competing against your own team. You're competing against the other teams. You want to win as a team, but you want to win individually. Like wrestling, that's kind of another one too. Like just there's a lot of competition pieces to that you got to learn to balance mentally, because the mental side of that is really the wear you down. Because I remember like the shortstops and the middle infielders, like, like the guy that I started with, him and I were, we were bus mates, like roommates, like we did all of our stuff together. and like we were best of friends, and it wasn't like we wanted to kick the dudes that were behind us, into the ground. Like we were still cool with them and wanted to be buddies with them, but we obviously didn't want them taking our spots either. So it's just like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to put that into words of what that dynamic is like, but it's a real thing because they're chomping at the bit to get an opportunity. I mean, I every college program that I was a part of, like I was beating somebody out to take that spot. So it's just it's good competition, but it's a weird dynamic with it, and I think that's what you walk into on a day-to-day basis with those style of sports.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
cool. It's really cool to hear that mindset and kind of what he's doing. But
Well,
sweet.
you want to close her down? You
Yeah.
want to throw a prayer our way?
Heck yeah, brother. All right, dear Heavenly Father, I just want to say thank you for today. We appreciate, opening our eyes this morning, giving us breath, letting us come in and, have fun with one another, connect with one another, tell Jacob's story a little bit and wish him nothing but the best as he moves up to Kansas City and continues to follow his dreams. We just ask that you bless him in that travel as he goes there and transitions his life from Wichita up to there, and hopefully everything goes really, really smooth. So would like to just say, continue to watch over the people of our community, our leaders, our people that are around us, the people that help us, watch over them as they continue to battle and fight internal struggles, and provide them with strength and allow them to keep fighting and keep working, ultimately closer and closer to you on a day-to-day basis. So in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Well, that's it for episode 72 Golf, featuring Jacob Roth at Rolling Hills one last time. Thank you for joining us.